to China too.
Right. Yeah, definitely. What you were saying, Brad?
Yeah, so where we left off was my suspicions regarding Maryland's case, Marilyn Manson. I mean, yeah, I think there definitely, there's some, ration behind it, but weird people, man, definitely aren't your normal cases,
Yeah.
and it also kind of speaks out about how poor our mental health is in this country too. I think
Facts.
that was kind of accelerated by the lockdowns and kind of like the
Yeah, I feel like the lockdown like made a lot of people wake up like how like their life is or how life is.
yeah mundane. Some of them may have found it mundane what they were doing, and some people also rely on a schedule, I
On the
guess.
schedule, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So once they lost that, they're like stagnant, didn't know what to do with. I mean, for me, it was definitely it was cool because everyone got home from college, and we all just
It's back. It's like you have to be like
it was like
yourself again.
it was almost like it felt like when it was like when you're in like 5th or 6th grade and you get home and you join like a party or something online.
And everybody's there.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
There's a time where everybody had more time to do that shit.
For real. It was kind of weird too. Like that, like 2 like
and that's what boosted
period.
like the video game market. The video game market exploded. Like
it shot up. Huge graphics card shortage too.
Now we got shit like the metaverse and shit trying to be Facebook. Like fucking made and shit. Like
VR.
You gonna get on that shit?
Hell no.
To be honest,
hell no.
Why wouldn't you?
I already know Jordan. Yeah, Jordan's tech savvy. He loves everything like that. He's gonna literally get. He said he would get like the chip.
Real.
No, I would get
a variation of the chip.
I did say that, huh?
I mean, I know that DARPA is developing a microchip, but like, I think they probably give it to the military first, or like a military dog. They probably got some crazy technology in them. But I mean, talking about meta,
like people are gonna have like actual wealth in like this world.
Virtual.
Yeah, virtual world.
It'll be like it kind of reminds me of what happened to GTA. You get GTA Online, you get all your currency, but it's like end of the day,
that's not real.
It's GTA money. A hacker could just come in and be like, "Yo, here's some like $2 million, boom," and just hack you in some cash. Like, what's to say that can't happen in like digital market or something?
Yeah,
this could spawn a bunch of cash.
Do you have Bitcoin? Steven, do you have any Bitcoin?
I don't personally, but I know my brother's into that a lot. If anything, I want to get into more like investing, kind of managing like a portfolio that way. But I know Bitcoin has been really popular. For me, recently, oh man, I don't know if I'm worried this might get the stream or the podcast taken down. That's what I was worried about last time with Morris, and I was like, oh no, am I going too deep? But I remember I heard people, I don't know if you saw this on the headlines, but Bill Gates was warning about smallpox.
Yeah.
And
that's
strange. And then you got that recent article, they found vials labeled with smallpox. Doesn't necessarily mean it's smallpox, but I mean, why are we talking about smallpox?
Yeah.
Like
we're weaponizing it, bro.
That was making me think like, smallpox it is legit a bioweapon. It's bio.
Yes.
I personally think Bill Gates is like a bioterrorist. Might be a 100%. Hot take, but I definitely think so.
He was the one. Isn't he the one who said like there should be like 2 million people join?
He said
2 billion.
Like 2 billion. He said
there
should only have 2 billion people on it.
He said he wanted to lower the population and stuff. He said some crazy things, and I don't like his track record either of
he was affiliated with Epstein heavily.
Mhm.
and then he denied that shit.
That
Of
nigga
course.
was on his fucking boat. I mean, on his island all the time.
All the
Right.
time.
That's why they think Melinda Gates divorced with him too, because of his ties with Jeff.
I see. Yeah.
Isn't there
Well,
like
yeah.
something like he gets to cheat on her like every like 3 weeks or
Man, what the
something?
fuck does
or,
he
like,
do, bro? What do you
like,
imagine
with his-
sex for Bill Gates is? What is that like?
Yeah, he's legit a
I don't
nerd.
even know,
He's
bro.
legit a nerd, man. And what's crazy is, why is this like Microsoft nerd dude? Why is he held with such like esteem in the medical community? You know, why is he like a director? I don't know
He's
who
rich.
made him director. He probably bought his way
Him.
in.
He probably bought his way.
Yeah,
He's rich.
I mean, these are questions a lot of people are asking too, and it's like, you know, you just get appointed. People get appointed in power. It's easy when you got that much money.
Is the metaverse gonna pop off?
Metaverse.
I don't know. I feel like
You know,
it could.
I know. I don't know if you guys are interested in the VR market, but I know the Quest 2, or like whatever it's called. It has you log into Facebook before you run the VR. So that's
Oh,
why I didn't
shit.
buy that. I was like, fuck, hell no, I'm not gonna do that. But I bet Facebook's gonna partner with a VR headset. To
I mean, Facebook like they've been like outed for giving information to
I know.
Exactly.
multiple governments, and they have full control over Instagram. So they have a lot of pictures of people, and they honestly, bro, like they have footage of like people doing everything, like taking
Yeah,
shits and like
that get
fucking
leaked.
yeah, bro.
But you bring up an
Honestly.
interesting point, man. I mean, I the other day I was talking with someone about something like that happened. I mean, if you remember the big celebrity leak from the cloud, you know, that was huge, and that was just like a targeted attack. If you got people doing like meta and wearing headsets to have like 6 cameras attached to it, and they can theoretically you could have people look into your whole house. You know, people.
Yeah.
Man.
It's crazy.
But I think honestly it could pop off though. I think
It
like
could.
It could be
it's
big.
like a situation where people like don't even want to like be in this like reality
Yeah.
anymore. Like they just want to live in there.
And it's already kind of like that. That's why I try to stay away from the VR social community, like VR chat. I'll bring up an example. Some people in there are pretty weird, but you know they kind of
Hell
see it
yeah.
as a refuge. You know, it is definitely. I say especially during the lockdown was when you want to stay away from those more weird game communities, because I'm sure it got really bad in there. Really bad vibes.
Bro, didn't Doja Cat get outed for some shit like that?
She was a fucking like hanging with hella Confederate people.
I don't care. I'll still hit, and that's facts. She look. I
Be
mean,
cool.
yeah. She, alright. Yeah. It's probably gonna pop off because there's so many people who don't want to be in this reality, like you said. I mean, this should be sucking, bro. Like honestly, bro. Like I don't have a car accident on my record in the metaverse, so there's that. So honestly,
That's one way to
I'm
look at it.
fucking with it. Like,
And I mean, once China invades Taiwan, I'm sure metaverse will be looking pretty good as a alternative. Because I mean, you won't.
And then we go to World War III.
that'll be a real disaster. I mean, you won't catch me here. You catch me in Baja California. Just gonna say right now, sipping martinis on the beach
Until the fucking shit gets exploded.
until I mean, unless China wants anything to do with Mexico, I think they care more about Canada. Hoping. Here's hoping. But
wasn't it kind of similar like in Canada too? Like they had to get like the vax and shit. Kind of like not as strictly as Australia and shit, but like
I know, yeah, Canada's one.
Yeah,
of
it was bad in Canada. It was bad.
in Europe. In Europe, it's getting really bad. It's I know in Austria they now have like it's like they just recently passed this law like you have to get the vaccine by February 4th or something on like their entire population. So
damn.
that's a crazy one.
Is that not wild, bro? Like
It's like, how can you even do that?
I feel like that like bypasses someone's like right to bodily autonomy, you know?
right.
Like you should have a say for what you like, what product you use, and like that's capitalism. You know, you have a choice, right? And they're saying, oh, you have a choice. You do have a choice. You have Pfizer, J&J, Moderna. I'm like, oh no, that's not right.
Like, either you take this or like you can't make a living. You can't just live like a normal life. You can't go places.
Live anything.
You can't do anything.
It's just a straight whole life.
It's weird, man. Like I said, bro, history repeats itself. And right now we're in like a war on germs, you know? We had war on terrorism and war on drugs. So of course, you know, we got another war. We got a war, you know, in the information sector. You know, the internet is constantly bombarding us with all kinds of shit. And then we got a war just like with our immune system, you know, people are trying to buy like your health or something, you know, like
Yeah.
like sell you it's like selling you snake oil kind of thing, you know, like I mean, I'll take the vaccine that is like tested and you know is working, but
You're not vaxxed, Steven?
nah. I was following it too. I was following it from day one. The coronavirus, I mean. I remember I thought it was actually like a real thing in terms of like how deadly it was suspected to be. Because I saw Chinese people falling down in the streets.
That's what my friend said. He said they showed people like just dropping dead. Like
he was seeing the same shit, man. Because it was weird. I thought it was like some crazy like
bio. He was seeing those videos. He was seeing those videos in like December 2019.
I feel like it was like a lot worse in those situations. No disrespect. But in certain places, it's because like it's just their situation and how they be living. I think,
bro,
it just made that shit like a lot worse.
What black person is gonna fall over to COVID, bro? Like, come on now. It's just Chinese people, to be honest.
I mean, it's very possible that they just amped up the deadliness for the Chinese, and then as it spread, it just went down. It's just like a big, you know, social engineering event. You know, it's not, you know, it's very, because China lies, man. China's numbers aren't adding up either. They say they only have like 1,000 cases or something in like a country of like 2 billion or 1.5 billion. But you know, that's just how it is. You know, you can't rely on China being truthful and honest and transparent. This is not how they are.
Do you have TikTok?
No.
You never had a TikTok?
Never. I'll see TikTok on like Instagram on the few times I will go on Instagram, but
TikTok. Never had a TikTok account because why?
Well, mainly because they were originally owned and it's like a Tencent has a big share in them, and also I didn't agree with their you know, collecting data, but also I don't like Instagram either. Like honestly want to get rid of Instagram. I want to get rid of all of those because in the end of the day, it's just, you know, it's like programming. I hate the media. I just hate a lot of forms of media. And like, I think it's strange, man, how we're trying to disconnect us from like, you know, our biological nature.
I feel like that's why so many people don't like to realize what's going on because they're just so stuck in like their form of a metaverse.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
bro,
I feel like
it was a ploy.
Mundane, huh?
It was a ploy. They've been planning it forever. You got to implement social media, and then you have fucking big ass pandemic thing that separates everybody, and they're all in the position to just be separate and still communicate. But now they're weaker since people are not together.
Yeah.
That was
Divide
the
and
goal.
conquer.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, you discombobulate it, you just like divide. And I think even like COVID itself, it's like, it's such a, like the pandemic and everything has an agenda. I mean, it's still ongoing. It was supposed to be 2 weeks, but we got to keep moving goalposts around. And even some of my friends who were like the most like diehard about following guidelines are also questioning it too. You know, people get run down. People get, you know, tired of it. I think after people are being told to take their third booster and whatever,
After they were already told like this was gonna already protect you from COVID completely.
Man.
Yeah, I think, you know, this is,
and that's why I never trusted that shit, man.
And they were saying that a certain age demographic didn't have to get the shot. Then they were like, no, everybody has to get it, even children. And then now they're like, everybody has to get a third shot. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, what is that gonna do to like their immune?
They want infants to get it now. I mean, not now, but like it's in the vaccines like pamphlet, like 2 to 3 year olds, bro.
Bro, I promise you, the goal is to weaken us, to make us depend on our healthcare system.
Yep.
Money in their pockets. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the goal.
And there's also like side effects too. Even without the vaccines, like wearing the mask, children wearing masks as they're developing and when they're young, it affects their development. Like
getting all that carbon monoxide right back to them.
Right back, bro. Yeah. I go to the park and I see just kids just running around with masks on. Like, what the? You're outside, one.
Like, running around.
And
you're breathing that thing.
How do you breathe in? Yeah, like.
Well, how do you breathe, or how do you see another, you know, friend's
kid's face,
you know, social
language?
Language?
Like a smile. You see like
it's like I was talking to Ashton about this, but I was saying in Russia and Soviet Union they had experiments, or not experiments, but it was bad. It was pretty much an experiment itself, but there's so many babies, but there weren't enough mothers, so some kids would go through their whole like developmental age without getting like human touch, and they would grow up to become like, you know, murderers, or to be severely disturbed, mentally disturbed, because they didn't have that like healthy environment in the upbringing of being a child, like being held and, you know, seeing other humans. And we're getting that now. I think we're going to have in the future, there's going to be a clear distinction between kids that grew up under COVID rule and masks and all that bullshit versus kids that grew up in a normal setting.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be very apparent, and they're also going to be more reliant on the pharmaceutical companies because, like Johnny, he's going to be needing, you know, ADHD meds, he's going to be needing anxiety meds because he went through the kindergarten without seeing his teacher's face, without seeing kids' faces. You know, it's like, it's going to be it's going to compound. It's going to be a compounded problem.
Honestly, they're
up.
geniuses. They're geniuses.
It is
like every form of way to attack, like
from all angles.
Every angle, like everywhere you go, you see like a poster, or like you're driving down the freeway and you see a sign like "Get the bags." And, like, driving in here in the radio, it's like "Get the bags." It's
on
like, bruh,
all fronts they will try and get to you,
texting you, like emailing you, bro. Like, man. You never gave a fuck about nobody. You never tried to help nobody ever, bro.
It's dastardly.
Now you care about, you want to save me?
For free?
For free?
For free.
Bro, like, bro, I was literally, I swear to God, bro. I was fucking driving my van, and I literally heard, like, on, like, one of the radio stations, because the aux wasn't working. And then I was literally flipping through it, and it was all like, they were saying in, like, certain areas, if you get the vaccine, we will give you a lady where you can choose to have sex with.
Wait, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where the fuck?
They're trying to appeal to like
Like the
anyone's
lowest
interest.
beta,
They started with Krispy Kreme donuts. I remember it all. Too.
duh, like you get
They-
free ice cream.
You get a free beer from this one company or whatever. They're trying to appeal to anyone's like weaknesses.
Impossible.
Like they're trying to appeal to the crowd that likes to eat sweet foods, trying to appeal to the crowd that lusts for something. They're trying to appeal to the crowd that has an addiction, maybe, giving out free weed at the disco, even.
Yeah, we can get a
Every
free joint.
front.
Like
Every
shut
front.
up, bruh.
And it kind of like emboldens and encourages. Just keeps
If that doesn't show you something, like giving you like that gut feeling, like what the fuck, bruh? Like
It's so
something
shameful.
stinks. Something smells.
definitely shite.
Yeah, and it's just not adding up. And a lot. What I think is nice is even people that are so like adamant in their decision like 2 years ago about whatever like whatever perspective they had about it, now they're also waking up, and I think that's a great thing. But it's like, damn, like we gotta start shifting tides at some point, because I know we got that stuff going on in Europe. Forcibly that, like, that's crazy. How are you even gonna do that?
Wait, how do they? What do you mean?
Like in Austria, when they want to have the entire population vaccinated, it's like, how are they even gonna enforce that? Like, are you just gonna be ostracized from society? Like, you won't be able to participate at all,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a really bad message to send. I mean, when I hear that, I think wow, that's like isn't that something that we should be avoiding? When was segregation ever a good thing? When was it ever on the good side of history? I mean, damn, man,
Yeah.
Bro, going out, bro.
it's evil.
You have to have a vax card to go out, to go anywhere, to get into places.
Especially like in SF.
That's
You need
Don't count on it.
that is so
Needed.
unfortunate, man.
Like, but I got vaxxed. I'm vaxxed.
Yeah. You got
I
chipped.
am.
They
They chipped you up.
we gotta call it what it is, man. It's coercion. The government. I can't believe, like, I feel that in 50 years this will go down as some of the most like tyrannical shit a government has done.
So,
And in the
that's
future,
what I was trying to tell. Like, that's, bro, you can't make a living and feed your family if you don't have this thing
Right.
shoved in your arm. That's wild. That's tyrannical as fuck.
So tyrannical, man. It's
Like,
medical fascism too, because you're forcing someone to make a medical decision to like participate in society, or you're forcing them pretty much. You're coercing them, but they can't forcibly like bring you into CVS and do it. But they'll take away, your right to do this and your right to do that. To like corner you pretty much. It's evil and it's wrong.
Pretty soon they're gonna start holding people down and shoving it. Like,
eventually,
honestly,
they're just gonna start having camps, and they're gonna start putting unvaccinated people in them. And to that, I say, hey, I'll rock it with my fellow unvaccinated brethren, because
In the fucking bunks.
yeah, because at least I know that we're gonna do some badass prison break shit and start fighting back. And I'm
Hell
ready for
yeah.
that. And even then, I won't even let them take me to a camp, and I'll leave it at that.
No, people are.
I'll leave it. I'll
if
leave
it ever
it
gets
at
to that
that.
point, there
I
will be a
wouldn't know how.
revolution.
I'll say,
There'll be a revolution.
I'll say what's standing between me and that is 1,000 rounds of ammunition.
1,000
I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it there.
1,000 rounds of
And that's why
on the
America's great.
gang.
That's why America's great, because
Facts.
we still have that. And a lot of countries that gave that up, they're fucked.
Australia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bad.
It's already done deal.
It's
awful.
bad for them.
Horrible.
It's got helicopters flying around and shit. It's bad over there.
It's some dystopian ass shit, man.
Bro,
Bad.
You go to Texas, nobody has masks on. Like, if you have a mask on, they're looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah.
Like, I feel like the whole culture out there is different because probably they have, first of all, it's a lot more conservative, but they also have, guns. Like, they have an ability to protect themselves.
That in Florida. Florida's the same way too.
Facts.
Yeah, Florida, there's no mask in Florida.
Isn't it crazy that right now in America we have states that are more free than other states? Like that, that's already bad. I mean, shit, that's already a bad sign.
Divided States of America, bro. Like that's the goal. That's the goal.
So
Shitty, man.
sad.
We always get so political and introspective on the 22 Thoughts podcast.
Not even just
So if you've been
political, but
enjoying
it's
it,
just like we got to
subscribe.
talk about something that's so prevalent, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when this fool was just trying to like make us. Our president was just trying to make us force us to take that shit, or like a lot of us
For
were gonna get like
companies.
laid off.
Did you see what he
Or-
said about making jobs? You see what he said?
Yeah, but then like he took that shit to court. Of course, they all denied that shit. Like you can't do that to people.
Yeah, the judge.
No. He said he was like, I'm not gonna make. He was like, I'm gonna create like 100 or like thousands of jobs or something like that. He was like, and there's not gonna be like just minimum wage jobs, 15, 16, $17 an hour. I'm talking $40 an hour, $50 an hour jobs. All of them. Like he's like, these jobs you can feed your family with. I was like, I don't know how you're gonna do that, or where these jobs are coming from. And I don't know if you think you're like FDR or something, but
Yeah, like New Deal,
yeah, like what do you know?
Conservation Corps, you know?
Who knows what this dude for real?
Honestly, he's just about to fucking croak, and Kamala's finna hop in and be like,
He's
yo.
in surgery right now, I think, for
He
his
is?
colonoscopy. Yeah,
He has
right.
like fucking dementia. He doesn't
Well,
even know where the fuck he's at.
they put him under anesthesia for his like procedure. So under that time he was under anesthesia, Kamala was president
Yeah. Wow. For a little bit. Wow.
for a little, yeah. So we
She's
just had
cool.
a woman president for a little like couple
She
hours.
was, man. That should go
That's,
into
that's an
history, bro.
achievement.
That should go into history, yeah. Did you see? He was like, what? Fuck. He was saying something. And then he was like, oh, fuck. I'm going to look up the video because it's that important. But keep talking. I'm going to look up the video. It's that fucking funny.
Man,
I was laughing at it for days.
Yeah, Biden's been. I feel like Biden doesn't even know like where he's at sometimes.
he really doesn't.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be just lost, like walking around the White
he-
House and shit.
He was
like,
actually in Long Beach, like a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Oh, like, where are we? Long Beach in the port." Port. You know, I honestly think it's so like sick what they're doing to him too. It's like he's obviously elderly.
he can't do
You know,
this.
he's obviously showing signs of like dementia and all that, and like they still like pretty much forced him to be president. They kicked out the other guy. I forgot what, Bernie Sanders. They basically like threw him under the bus, and they're like, no, we're gonna get this guy on. And like, dude, damn, like maybe you guys should have done that 4 years ago, because like this guy's obviously not as competent as he was, and it's in my opinion, it's like elder abuse if you say anything. Like it's just cruel, man. Like let the guy like go to sleep at 8 or whatever and watch Wheel of Fortune, whatever he wants to do. Like, why is this guy having to stress about like this massive like scheme that's going on? Like, come on, man. It's like they
he's
want
not
a
even
patsy.
doing anything to like calm down like fucking shit that's going on.
Yeah, and then
Like he can't.
You got to ask like if he's so like senile and whatever, then who is running the show? Who's like who's doing it when he's obviously not? I guess he's just kind of like he's not really like a patsy, but he's just kind of like a neutral, like, here, sign this, here, sign that kind of thing.
They just got him wrapped around their finger.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I found it.
I feel like that's every president, though. Every president's like
Yeah.
that. All puppets. Oh,
Feedback. You gonna put it on like the fucking screen?
I'll just put it in the comments. What is that?
Sheesh.
Why is it like that?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, this is still echoing.
No, okay, we're good.
I'm gonna put it in post. He said, across the economy, feeds everybody, hurts nobody. That's what he said. He said, across the economy. He said, guess what? Across the economy. He whispered it like he was a rapper. Like he was doing an ad-lib. It was cold, but it had me laughing for days. And I'm gonna put it in post. What were you guys talking? You guys were saying how he's wrapped around the left finger.
Or whoever's kind of
Yeah.
like telling him what to do, I guess.
Because he's clearly not. Like,
I mean,
bro, be like lost. They be trying to tell him like this way, sir, and he'd be like, just like walking around like lost as fuck, bro. They just like, sir, all right, just he'll visually
Like
get tired and then go lay down or something.
You hear when he visited the Pope, what the people from Rome were tweeting about? They're like, "Oh, President Biden, he couldn't see the Pope because he like shat his pants." They're like throwing that rumor around in Italy. The Italians were roasting their president, man. The Italians.
Of course,
Damn.
of course.
the softies. Wow. I think there's probably about like 4 minutes left on the Zoom call. And I do have to go.
Yes, sir.
So let's just finish out these last 4 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's end out on a lighter note.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Send it off.
What else? What else is there?
What else has really been going on that's like positive? Well,
Nothing.
Thanksgiving's coming up, so
Thanksgiving and Christmas
Yeah.
too.
even though we all know or should know what this holiday really means, but you can look at it on the bright side and just spend time with your family.
What does it really
'Cause
mean?
if anything, these last few years have showed us that life is short. So
Yep.
What
Value
does
the
Christmas
time.
really mean?
value.
What does Christmas really mean?
Not Christmas, Thanksgiving.
I was like,
But Christmas is a different topic that we'll have a different topic about too.
That's a whole different season.
The
you know, Christopher Columbus didn't accidentally discover the U.S.
yes,
Actually, he didn't even discover the U.S. There were people
he
way
did not.
obviously here before him. Not even the Indians that people know, like you see in the books. It was different.
I even feel like black people were here before, but
It was
that's
black
for a
people
different
here. It was
time.
Black
Well, there was a
people
land bridge.
here. And
Yeah,
it was,
we were
it was
here.
language way before. It's probably written as well. And he came here on purpose. He didn't fucking accidentally come here. He came here to take. I'm not gonna. You know, we're not just gonna get into
That's a
it.
different. We'll talk about this next time, right?
Next time. Yeah.
Colonialism.
Definitely. But thank you, Stevers, for joining us.
Glad to
today,
be
bruh.
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank
good
you
to
for
have
having
on
me,
the
guys.
show, bro.
This is fun.
Had some
Thanks
good
for coming.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Pete Davidson. Did I like fuck?
Stop being a hater.
Okay.
'Cause that nigga got more game than you.
There's no way he has game, bro.
This has been the 22 Thotz podcast.
Thank you guys for
Thank you, though.
showing up.
For
And we will
anybody
be back.
who's for real, like if anybody's watching this, like you really been down and just like waited through all this shit that's been happening, because I know we've been like lacking, but we're gonna try to get this shit back going again. Try to be consistent with it. For real though, for everybody, you're for real 22 though.
For real, 22 gang. And we will be back next week. See you guys
Yes, we
then.
will.
Thank you, Steven.
You fuck with us.
Thank you.
Fuck with us.
We fuck with you.
You're 22.
22.
Gang.
Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one, you guys.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas.